Great day, beautiful people. I just wanted to check in. Can you guys hear me really quick? I'm doing the old typical truck driver move. I got my Bluetooth headset on, and I want to use this, do something a little different. Hopefully it helps with the wind and it buffers that a little bit. But I am currently checking in with you guys live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. T and I are actually waiting to pick up our load tonight that we're going to be taking to the Knoxville, Tennessee area. We just had a drop earlier today in Chicago, and I am the night driver. So this load will be ready tonight around 9:45, 10 p.m. And I got an all-night shift to pull. Got about 9 hours to do down to Knoxville, Tennessee to get there first thing in the morning to drop this and pick up our next load. But I'm coming to you guys today because I wanted to talk about the importance of patience and understanding how to play your role. This is important, right? Whether it be in experiential marketing, whether it be starting your own business, whether it be building your own brand, and whether, quite frankly, you're working for somebody, whether you have a 9-to-5. Understanding the importance of being a role player and learning how to be a great role player is so important. Me and T, let me just give you guys a little bit of perspective really quick. So currently right here, right, we're in Milwaukee. We didn't know this when we pulled up today, but this hotel was the hotel, it's a Holiday Inn Express, and this is a hotel that we've stayed at a couple times when we were on tour working as experiential marketing professionals, right? Executing events, working as tour managers, production managers, coming in town, picking up our assets, and meeting with the fabrication companies to ultimately head out and execute our tour for 3, 6, 8 months, whatever it may be, right, the duration. And even coming back here to drop off the assets. So we were really familiar with this market, but we didn't know that we would actually be coming back to familiar grounds in a familiar place that we visit frequently. But I say all that to say this. Everybody's journey is different. I'm going to say it again. Everybody's journey is different. T and I started in experiential marketing. Even though we're not executing events now, we're still heavily involved in the industry. Coming to hotels like this, getting ready to launch tours, picking up our assets, to now look. Our truck is literally right there, and we switched gears and we pivoted to owner operators, having our own truck, and being able to move our own freight. So we went from here, working for somebody else, executing experiential marketing events, loved it, still love it, still miss the experiential marketing industry, to now being able to come full circle in less than a year, year and a half, full circle, to now having our own truck right there. Oh yeah. And moving freight. So I'm here to tell you guys, you have to learn how to pivot, but more importantly, how to play your role and play your position. If someone would have told T and I a year and a half ago that you guys would have had to pivot and buy a truck and work in the trucking industry and work in logistics, I probably would have looked at them like I was crazy, looked at them like they were crazy, right? But you have to understand that your journey, your path, the things that you're going to be able to do and the opportunities that you're going to be presented with are unique to you. But you got to be fluid, right? You got to understand that what you're going through right now is just temporary. The things that T and I learned in experiential marketing, the responsibilities that we had, the characteristics, the traits, the skills, the roles, the responsibilities, all of that has translated over to us being able to effectively manage our own truck and have our own trucking company. But we had to learn how to play our role in experiential marketing. We had to learn how to move from a brand ambassador to a tour manager to effectively do things the right way, right? And be coachable and be teachable and learn from the best and ask the right questions. We had to learn all of this. And whether you are working in experiential marketing or not, let me adjust my camera. This truck's about to come out here really quick. Whether you work in experiential marketing or not, you got to be coachable. Some of you have big goals, right? You have big dreams. You have big businesses. You have big ideas to start your own business, to build your own brand, to be your own boss. But are you really coachable? Do you understand how to play your role on the company that you're working with now? Even as a brand ambassador, can you show up on time? Do you know how to take direction from the tour manager? Do you listen? Do you communicate effective brand information? Are you able to manage your finances appropriately? Are you able to understand how to effectively move and sell your skills as assets? Are you willing to put the work in? Some of you are want to be leaders, but you have a role mentality. And understanding, more importantly, me and T were talking about this. Everybody can't be Jordan, right? You got Scottie Pippen, who's the role player. You had Dennis Rodman, who came in, who was scrappy. It didn't matter what the job required, what he needed to do. He was going to show up every time. He was consistent. Then you had Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan was the leader. He could get Dennis Rodman to come in to practice on time. Even when Dennis Rodman was partying late night and didn't want to show up, he knew how to get to everybody. He knew as a leader how to leverage everybody's best skills, right? How to leverage everybody's best skills and put people in a position to succeed. That was Jordan's role. And Scottie Pippen was the role player. He knew how to come in when Jordan was having a bad day, when Jordan was struggling, when Jordan wasn't playing well. He knew how to come in and be the role player. He didn't need to have the ego pride mentality. He was willing to come in and be the role player and not overshadow Jordan, because he understood that, you know what? I can be just as effective as Michael Jordan and not get all the fame, not get all the publicity, not need all the limelight, not be the one that everybody go to, and still be seen as a leader on this team. And some of you, whether you work experiential marketing, as a brand ambassador, you want to come in and immediately, oh, something's wrong with this footprint. Oh, the manager's not doing this right. Oh, why she look like that? Why she dressed like that? The minute you get on site, you got a critique for everything. You want to come in and tell the manager how to do their job, but you don't know that that manager, before you got there, may have had a crazy on-site contact that they had to deal with, may have had a crazy client that's been on their back, maybe dealing with an account manager with little to no experience, so they having to do 2 and 3 jobs on top of that. So are you playing your role, right? And this is in experiential marketing as well. Are you playing your role? Are you learning from the best? Are you coming in and seeing the ways in which you can be an asset to a program or to an event, not a liability? Are you coachable? Or do you just want to show up, collect a check, and not do any work? The industry, as we see, events are starting to come back. I have friends that are getting product specialist opportunities. Shouts out to you guys. Getting dealer trainer opportunities. But guess what? They put the work in. They played their role before. They learned the skills. They perfected their craft. And some of you just aren't willing to do that. I'm just being honest with you. I'm reading this book now called Business Made Simple by Donald Miller. If y'all haven't, this is definitely a book you need to get. And he talks about leadership, right? And I'm gonna just read the 3 characteristics that he talks about to be an effective leader. The number 1 job of a leader is to wake up every morning and let everybody on the team know where the organization is going. Now, you may not have an organization, but if you are a leader, if you are starting a business, if you see yourself as a visionary, as a brand, then you got to have a mission statement. You got to have goals. You got to have vision for yourself, for where you see yourself going, and for how you foresee yourself advancing, whether that be building your own brand, working in experiential, or just becoming an expert at your own craft. What are your goals? Yes, we can go work for an agency. Yes, we can go work for a company and learn all about their mission statement and the things that we need to do to make their company better. But what are you doing? What is your personal mission statement to better yourself every day? What goals are you setting? And what attainable goals are you setting to ensure that you're able to have the confidence to continue to move forward? Because sometimes we set lofty goals, right? We set these big goals and have these high expectations, and when we don't meet the first goal, we immediately get disappointed and we want to quit and we get discouraged. So make sure that you're setting realistic goals for yourself and make sure that you are holding yourself accountable. And if you're not able to hold yourself accountable, you have the right people in your circle around you that's going to help you do that. The number two thing that he says is a job of a leader is to explain in clear and simple terms why the story of going and arriving at specific destination matters. So if you're a tour manager, if you're an in-market manager, what are the goals for that day? What specific roles and responsibilities do you have for your brand ambassadors? That starts at training. You set the expectations as a leader for your group. You set the expectations as a leader of your business. What do you plan to get done that day? Even if you have to write it out, have some goals, have some small things. Have a checklist of things that you need to be working on day to day and hold yourself accountable to get those things done. All right? And lastly, number 3 is to analyze the skills and abilities of each team member and find them an important role to play. If you don't have team members, if you don't have employees, yourself. Analyze yourself. Give yourself an honest critique. If you can't do it, ask your friends that have your best interests. Ask your family that have your best interests. What are some things you see I struggle with? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Do I communicate well? Do you feel like I'm a great leader? What are some things you feel like I can improve on as a leader? You got to ask these questions. And even if you're working in experiential marketing as a tour manager, as an in-market manager, as an event manager, I ask my team all the time, okay guys, at the end of an event, what do you guys see that I did well? What are some things that we can improve on for the next event, for tomorrow's event? Especially if we're doing multi-day activations. What do you guys need from me? Do you need more water? Do you need more snacks? Do you need more breaks? How do you feel the first day went? If you have a business, what are some things you feel like you can improve or we can improve as a business to make this better? You got to make the people on your team, whether you are working as a manager, in-market manager in experiential marketing, whether you have a business, you got to make them feel valued. You got to make them feel like they are just a part of your business as you are. You got to make them feel like they are a part of a team. And that's one thing that a lot of leaders, especially in experiential marketing, don't get. They want to come on site and just bark out orders and tell people what to do without making people feel included, without making people feel a part of the process or a part of the success of an activation or a long-term program. Do you know how hard it is as a tour manager, day in, day out, to set up the same footprint, do the same activation, and get the same results out of your team, especially if you're traveling from market to market, city to city, and you're having to manage different personalities? It takes a special person to be able to do it at a high level, consistently, day in, day out, and be successful at doing so. Not everybody can do that. Even though many of you claim you can be an effective manager, not all of you can do that. So, if you want to separate yourself from the pack, if you want to stand out, whether you are in experiential marketing industry, whether you are trying to build your own business, you got to understand how to be an effective leader. You got to understand how to tap into the people around you. You got to understand how to bring out the best out of your people, out of the individuals that you're hiring. But you also got to lead by actions, right? You got to do the work first. You got to be a doer type of person. You got to be an example so that they can see, you know what, if Jay's willing to do it and is willing to get out here and talk to brand ambassadors or set up this footprint, then I can do it as well. If Jay is willing to sacrifice her time, energy, then I got to be willing to do the same thing. It takes a certain level of commitment, of passion, and quite frankly, you just got to have a mindset. You got to have it has to work or it has to work mindset. Shouts out to Jae Davis. Everybody's not built with it. Everybody does not have that in them. And especially so many people working in industries where you deal with consumers or you're having to, quickly adjust to things on the fly. Everybody's not capable of doing it. So before you decide or before you make up in your mind that you want to be a leader or that you want to move out of a role player status, you got to ask yourself, are you mentally ready? Do you have the capacity to be able to do so? And you got to be patient. Like I said in my post, Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time. It takes years. It takes dedication. It takes work. T and I didn't just get to where we are to having our own truck yesterday or today. It took years of us, like I just showed you guys, working experiential marketing programs, being on tour, going through the tough times, working for good and bad agencies, coming to hotels, picking up assets to be able to get to where we are today. And some of you honestly aren't willing to put the work in. You prioritize materialistic things and other things over building your own brand and becoming an expert at what you have, because all of us have gifts. All of us have been blessed with characteristics and traits and things that people need, right? That we could use to build our own business, to make billions. We all have it in us, but it's up to you to find it, and it's up to you to make up in your mind that you're gonna put the work in to have the results and be successful. I lost my train of thought now. But I'm about to go ahead and get off of here, guys. I just had a word for you guys today. I got to get ready, go take this nap because I got a long haul ahead of me. The sacrifice is real. We out here putting in the work. I'm never going to talk to you guys about things that I haven't physically done. Or if I haven't physically done it, I'm going to bring on an expert who has done it and can speak from their experiences, because that's what I'm all about. All right? But I encourage you guys, do some self-work, right? And get clear and get honest about what you're trying to pursue and the things that you want, whether that be in experiential marketing, whether that be personal, whether that be business, and developing your own brand. All right? It's not easy. I'm never going to sit here and tell you that it's easy, but I will say it's been worth it. All right? So keep going. It has to work, or it has to work. And remember, you got this. You just got to start. You got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. But more importantly, you got to be consistent. All right? And play your role at the time. You're going to have your chance to shine. But being that role player is important, because you're going to learn so much. And it's going to teach you so much about the things and the skills and the assets that you're going to be able to leverage later on. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here. You guys be safe and enjoy the rest of your night. Later.